Hello everyone, this is Bud, and I'm here with my friend Goji, and we're just, hanging around, talking about stuff. I mean, it's been a while since we've done something like this. I mean, it's been about a year at this point. And as you could tell, based on the title of this video, we're going to be talking about our overall thoughts on the Saxxy Awards from 2017/18. And we got some things to talk about. Quite a lot of things to talk about. So before we do that, we should talk about the Saxxy Awards from the previous year, back in 2016. We did make a Rant video, on the Saxxy Awards from 2016, and we got some pretty interesting feedback from that video. I just want to, I just want to talk about, like, what do we think about that video and what we think about the 2016 Saxxy Awards after a whole year of not talking about it. I just think that, looking back on 2016, I still kind of have the same thoughts like I did when I made that Rant video. I'm probably a little less critical of it now, but maybe that's due to, like, I'm not as emotionally charged against it than before. But I do think that there were some things lacking from that year, in my opinion. Like, for example, I think there were still some, lackluster entries for each category. And I think there were some entries that didn't really deserve winning the Saxxy Award, and I thought there were others that were nominated that deserved to win. But overall, I thought it was kind of a disappointing year for the Saxxy Awards. Definitely not as good as 2015 and 2014, and that's what I think. What about you, Goji? What do you think?
Well, I will say I still have the same opinions actually that I had when we recorded that video, except for the fact that I could have explained maybe a few things a little more, like when we got criticized I was criticized for saying that you need music and drama, when that's not exactly the case. You can still make a drama entry with no music as long as you use something as a substitute, like some ambient cinematography, which is what I could have explained. But I just left that out, and that's why we got a bit of criticism. But other than that, I think my point still stands. And yeah, I do agree. 2014 and 15 was pretty much the peak of the Saxxy Awards, and 2016 was when it all fell apart. And well, now we're gonna talk about the 2017 and 18 Saxxy Awards, and I will say it's a lot better.
Yeah, so since we're done talking about 2016, and since the topic of this video is the 2017 and 2018 Saxxy Awards, I would say that my overall thoughts, both initially and currently, with the Saxxy Awards from 2017 and 18, is that I thought it was definitely an improvement over 2016. There were still some issues, but I thought they were a little more minor compared to last year. And I think there were some categories from 2017 that were a massive improvement compared to 2016. And also there were some categories where it had entries that were a little bit inferior compared to from last year. So I think that it was definitely a good step compared to last year, but I don't think it was the best year, but it was definitely not the worst year. So that's what I think of 2017 mostly. So let's talk about something that's related to 2017. Now that we're out of our way with our general thoughts on the Saxxy Awards from 2017, let's sort of discuss a little bit about the each category from that year and all the entries that came out from each category. I haven't seen a lot of these entries in a while, but I do remember thinking about each category on whether they were improvement, whether they were really good or not really good. So let's start with that. We'll talk about the short category first. I thought that the short category I thought it was more or less the same like 2016, and I thought 2016 was pretty good when it came to the short category. I think that the of the nominees, I thought they were pretty good nominees overall. I thought that the winner, I thought that was definitely deserving. Haven't seen it in a while, but I remember really liking it, and I thought it was very well done. So I think that the short category was great overall still. What do you think, Goji?
Well, if I remember correctly, I thought the short entries in 2016 were also not too underwhelming. They were actually not too bad at all. And in 2017, I remember them being pretty good, and the winner really deserved it. I thought it was definitely the best short entry in 2017, and I thought that was the closest to a perfect short entry in 2017.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think it was the best category of that year, but I do think it was still a good one. And how about the next one that we talk about is action?
Yeah,
So-
we got a couple of
Okay.
thoughts on the overall action category.
Yeah, so let me start with the action category first. So I thought that the action category, surprisingly, was a little bit underwhelming compared to last year. I thought there were some really good entries from 2016 that were in the action category, especially in the nominees. I think that the action category in 2018 or 2017 and 2018, I thought was a little lackluster. There was probably one good one, and thankfully that was the one that won Best Action. I thought that was pretty deserving. But I think that was sort of like the only really good one, and the rest of them were either okay or a little bit subpar. Now, it's not to say that the other nominees were bad, but it's just that I guess there just wasn't a lot of action for that year. But that's just what I think. And I thought the winner deserved it, and that's my thoughts on it. I thought it faltered a little bit, that category. I thought it was kind of a disappointment in a way, a slight disappointment, not a major disappointment, but I did think that the winner was the best one, and that's all I have to say about it.
Well, I think it was pretty much like the same as the 2016 Saxxy entries, because I thought 2016 and 17 were kind of the opposite of each other with action, because I thought, if I remember correctly, all the nominees were pretty good, but I thought, the idea of having a re-upload win the best action category was just complete nonsense. But in 2017, it was the opposite, the opposite, because, you have a great winner in that category, but all the other ones were a little underwhelming. So it's almost like pick your poison. It's like either great winner and underwhelming nominees, or great nominees and underwhelming winner.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that when it came to 2016, there were a lot of good entries from the action category in 2016, but the winner was, I don't know, maybe a little bit undeserving, but I just thought there were some better entries from that year. But when it comes to 2017, there was like one really good one, and that was the winner. But I thought that the other ones were, pretty underwhelming in my opinion. So that's basically our thoughts on the action category of that year. Now the next category, that will be comedy. So I think that I'll start with the discussion about what we think of the comedy category of 2017. I thought it was sort of the same. I don't think it was an improvement, but it wasn't really disappointing either. It was kind of like there were still a lot of really good comedy entries, but I just didn't think of it as noteworthy, really. Like, it definitely wasn't a bad category, and there were definitely a lot of really good entries that was in the comedy category. But most of them were kind of mixed in with other categories as well, like short and action and sometimes even drama, which doesn't really make sense to me still. But overall, I thought that comedy was still strong in 2017. I think there was like more creativity done in the humor in a lot of the entries. but other times it was they were using more cliched tropes when it comes to the way they portray their humor. I mean, I still thought it was a really good category, just not a very noteworthy one. Definitely not the best one, but it definitely wasn't a bad one either. Not far from it. It was still a really good one. So that's my thoughts on that. What about you, Goji?
Well, I remember the 2016 entries being pretty underwhelming. Not all of them, but I don't remember a lot of entries making me laugh and seeing them as comedies. Well, when it comes to 2017, I actually thought that's where there were entries that were a lot more funnier than what we got in 2016. So in my opinion, I thought it was a little bit of a boost. Like, not all the nominees in 2017 were great, but there were definitely some improvements in my opinion.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Goji. So, basically, that's our overall thoughts on the comedy category. So now let's move on to a category that we were pretty disappointed by in 2016, the one that we basically ranted the most on in 2016. But now let's talk about the drama category. Now, this one is definitely a very interesting category. A lot of people seem to have different interpretations of what a drama is. And sometimes it makes sense, but other times I don't think it really works that well. Sometimes I don't think it's effective on how to portray a drama very well. Back in 2016, I thought that the drama category was the worst category of that year. I just thought that there weren't really any real hard-hitting dramas from 2016, and I just thought that the winner, it sort of had the way it was executed, where it used both comedy and drama, it was sort of used in a way where it sort of canceled each other out. And I thought that overall, I didn't know if I was supposed to laugh or cry, or I don't know, maybe I'm just sort of heartless about that still. But I mean, I still think that the animation from the winner of the drama category from last year, I thought that still had some pretty good animation. I just thought that the story in it was kind of lacking, and although I knew I got the message about it, I still thought it wasn't executed well enough. And I think there probably was some entries that were better compared to that one that probably deserved to win. So that was 2016. So now when it comes to 2017, however, there were definitely some better dramas from that year. I think that there were at least 2, maybe 3 really good drama categories from that year, whereas there was probably only 1 really good one from last year. So I still think that's a slight improvement, but I think overall when it comes to the 2017 drama entries, I think that there was probably, I mean, there were still a lot of entries from the drama category that were still kind of lackluster in terms of being dramatic. Some of them were really well animated, and some of them were really well lit and so on. And of the nominees from 2017, I thought they were pretty deserving of being nominated. But I thought that most of the nominees for the drama category, they were mostly okay, but there was definitely one really good one, and I'm glad that one won Best Drama, because I thought that was the best of the drama category. Now, I think that the animation is a little too simple, or at least that's what I've heard from like other people with their criticism of it compared to the other drama entries. But the reason I think that it's the best drama entry is because I think it has like a really, I don't know, I just think it was executed the best. Overall, I thought that the drama category of 2017 was an improvement, maybe a slight improvement over last year. It could definitely be a lot better. So now I'm gonna give it off to you, Goji. What do you think?
Well, I pretty much agree with you. In 2016, the drama entries were just a big disappointment. I don't remember liking one single drama entry. Maybe well, actually maybe one or two, but for the most part I didn't like the 2016 entries at all. But in 2017 I thought there was only like one really deserving drama entry, and that was of course the winner, because I thought it was well executed as a drama. Of course it wasn't perfect in my opinion, but still I thought, at least having one great drama entry and that one being the winner was at least a slight improvement over the 2016 drama category.
So, yeah, overall, that's basically our overall thoughts on the drama category. That's not going to be the last time we're going to be talking about the drama category for 2016, by the way. But I do think that 2017 was an improvement. So that's it for the drama category. Now we only have one more category to talk about, and I think that this was probably the best category of 2017, and that is the extended category. Hoo boy, I think that was the absolute improvement for 2017. I just think that they did so much right when it came to the extended category compared to last year. So I just think that the entries, even the ones that weren't nominated, there were just so many really well executed entries that were in 2017. And in 2016 there was probably one good one, maybe a decent one, but I just thought that overall most of like the extended entries from 2016 were just boring, lackluster, or just not very noteworthy, not very entertaining. But I can't say the same for 2017. I mean, there are some entries from that category that I just think were overall far better and had some of the best entries from all of the Saxxy Awards. Now, as far as the nominees, I think that every single entry from that category was great. And my personal favorite entries are in the extended category of that year. So we're definitely going to talk more about them in the future, but those are just my general thoughts on the extended category of 2017. So now I'm going to pass it on to Goji, because maybe he has differing opinions than I do.
Yeah, one thing I really will say is that I thought the extended category in 2017 was almost like a love letter to Saxxy Awards fans, because wow, I was completely blown away. I thought the extended category was going to be butchered like in 2016, but nope, I was completely wrong. It blew me away, and pretty much all the nominees were just great, or well, from good to great. There was not one nominee in the extended category that I thought was just not deserving of being a nominee. Like, even the ones that are not great are still at least good, because there's just so much good about all these nominees. And the winner, including the overall winner, which was an extended entry, and I thought that one was just I think it pretty much rivals Turbulence or any of the other fantastic entries from 2014 and 15. I just thought the extended category in 2017 was like the biggest highlight of 2017 when it comes to the Saxxy Awards.
Yeah, so as far as like improvements between 2016 and 2017, I just think that when it came to the extended category from 2016, I would give it like, maybe like a 4 out of 10, maybe a 3 out of 10. But when it came to this year, it was definitely a strong 9 to 10 out of 10. Now, that doesn't mean that all of the extended categories were perfect. All the extended entries were great. There were still some that were pretty lackluster, but then again, that's usually the case for every year. But there were far more good entries than bad when it came to the extended category. And I am very happy that that was the case, because I just think that without all those great entries, I don't know if we would even be talking about this year's Saxxy Awards.
Yeah, I think extended category was what pretty much saved the 2017 Saxxy Awards, because it just it is the best category in 2017 in our opinions. But if it wasn't for extended being so great, we probably would be doing another rant on the 2017 Saxxy Awards. But I would just want to say congratulations to all the creators who made all these extended entries, because these guys deserve a lot of respect for saving the 2017 Saxxy Awards from being average to underwhelming. These guys really stepped up their game and really deserve a round of applause.
And that is our overall thoughts on the extended category. So now, with all those categories out of the way, I think we can go a little more specific when it comes to the overall winner of the Saxxy Awards, because I think that the overall winner is sort of what saved the whole awards, aside from the extended category. Because this entry was in the extended category, but not only that, it was the winner of Best Overall, and I'm glad that it was the winner of Best Overall. And that entry that I am talking about is Agent Gun, the most professional looking entry I have seen at all. Like, there was just so much work that was put into that one entry. There was no way that it couldn't win Best Overall, because I was so bummed out from last year that I was expecting, people thought that I was gonna just make another rant video, but no, that was not the case at all. If it wasn't for that one, and the extended category, and the improvement of the drama category, then this would probably have been another rant from me, and from my friend. What do you think of the overall winner?
I always knew from the start that this was gonna win Best Overall, because I thought it looked like so much effort was put into it, that it was the closest to a perfect entry, in my opinion, when it comes to the 2017 entries, because the animation is great, the pacing is great, the story is simple, everything about it is perfect as it can be when it comes to a Saxxy Awards entry in 2017, and maybe even a Saxxy entry overall.
I don't know, like initially I thought that maybe that 2017 was only like a slight improvement over last year, but no, I just think it was not just a slight improvement, it was an improvement. I think there was a lot more done right than wrong. Sure, it did have some shortcomings, like, a lack of very well done action entries and not very noteworthy comedy entries, but I just think that overall, it was an improvement.
And that's all thanks to the extended category and the overall winner. I mean, we really thank all these people for stepping up their games and putting as much effort as possible and saving the 2017 Saxxy Awards.
Yes, I congratulate all of them for that. The names escape me, but I think you will all know what I'm talking about if you have followed the Saxxy Awards from 2017. And that basically concludes our discussion on the Saxxy Awards, and thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more, and hopefully you'll all understand why we appreciate the Saxxy Awards so much.